Hi friends, happy Thursday. Welcome back to your read aloud for today. Today for your read aloud, we're going to continue thinking about our different story elements. So our learning target while we are reading is to identify the story elements in a fictional text. So we are going to read another story that is a fictional story, which means it's not real. It's not made up of facts. It's just a fun story that has our 4 story elements that make it fun and exciting. So our 4 story elements are what we've talked about before. The characters, setting, problem, and solution. So we're going to see today some different characters in our story that we haven't seen before, but we've also seen 1 or 2 of the characters that will be in this story. The setting is going to be different than the other stories we read. And then there's going to be a different problem. And we're going to see as readers how our character solves that problem, what the solution is going to be. That's what makes the story exciting. So today we're going to read the story called The Gingerbread Man Loose on the Fire Truck. Yesterday we read how he was loose at school, or on Tuesday I should say. So today we're going to see how he's loose on a fire truck. This story is written by Laura Murray and illustrated by Mike Lowry. Here's our title page, The Gingerbread Man Loose on the Fire Truck. And here we have another what we call a blueprint. So this is a drawing of the fire truck that shows where different things are. And here's where our story begins. We're going to see a lot of speech bubbles telling us who's talking, the different characters. Here we go. On a bright Monday morning, my teacher breezed in. Let's all make a circle. It's time to begin. She winked and then whispered, our field trips today. The classroom erupted with shouts of hooray! We're riding the bus to the big fire station to meet firefighters and spot their Dalmatian. What's a Dalmatian? It's a dog. It's a type of dog, right? Sophia leaned down and said, you're coming too. You're our gingerbread man. We wouldn't leave you. Just jump in my backpack. I'll give you a ride. There's a pocket for you over here in the side. So this is one of the students in the class that made the gingerbread man. She's bringing him with them. The pocket was cozy. I peeked from the top. The bus drove for miles, then came to a stop. In front of a building with shiny red doors stood 2 firefighters with company 4. One had on gear for a quick demonstration, and standing beside him was Spot, the Dalmatian. So here's an example of what a Dalmatian looks like. And there's different labels. I know we've been practicing labeling in our writing. So it shows the helmet, goggles, oxygen tank, flashlight, axe. It labeled even the dog Spot, gloves, and boots. I was jostled and jiggled as kids moved about. Then I fell from the pocket, right on the dog's snout. Uh-oh. Spot sniffed at my face, taking one sticky lick. Yuck! I needed a trick to get out of here quick. He tossed me up high with his mouth open wide, but I flipped towards his tail and slid down like a slide. Whee! What do you think the dog was trying to do? Eat the gingerbread man! Ah! My feet hit the ground. I took off for the station, but right on my heels was that hungry Dalmatian. Uh-oh. I'll run and I'll dodge as fast as I can. I'm not a dog bone. I'm the gingerbread man. Uh-oh, now the dog's chasing him. The class didn't notice. They tried on black boots and helmets and air tanks and big heavy suits. So look at all the students in the class trying on the firefighters' gear. And look at the gingerbread man right back here trying to save his life running from the dog. I dashed to the fire truck, jumped in a seat. Slam! Woo! I was almost a sweet doggy treat. Look at the gingerbread man up here looking like, woo! And the dog's like, where'd he go? I hopped on the steering wheel, gave it a spin, and yelled out, honk, honk, with a big cookie grin. The wheel spun past gauges and switches and knobs and all kinds of buttons that do different jobs. I'll vroom and I'll zoom as fast as I can. I'll steer this big truck. I'm the gingerbread man. Now look at him. Look how little he is driving that big truck. Then I heard someone whistle. Spot trotted away. So I jumped through the window without a delay. I landed on top of a big silver bowl. Oh no, I cried out as I leapt for the pole. I shimmied right up and I sprang from the top, then jumped on a bed with a big belly flop. So now he left the truck, the dog, he heard whistling, and then he jumped out of the truck and landed in the dog's water bowl. But he said, oh no, what could happen? Two things, right? One, Spot might find him and eat him. And two, what happens if he gets wet? He might crumble. That's two problems he has. There were several more bunks with their covers pulled tight for each firefighter who stayed through the night. I bounced on each bed on my way to the door, then into a room with a bright checkered floor. I peeked around the corner and smelled something yummy. A grumbling sound rumbled up from my tummy. Grumble, sniff, sniff. I spotted a fireman filling up bowls with 5-alarm chili and buttery rolls. Then all of a sudden, I heard a loud noise. Woo! Fire! One shouted. No lunch for us, boys. They rushed to the bunk room and slid down the pole. I followed behind them, then peered down the hole. Spot wasn't there, a sure sign of good luck, so I slipped down the pole and then jumped on the truck. I'll ride to the rescue as fast as I can. I want to help too. I'm the gingerbread man. Wee-oo, wee-oo, went the sirens. The lights flashed around as I zoomed past my classmates below on the ground. We sped through the streets and I clung to the back, near ladders and hoses piled up in a stack. The engine pulled up. Firefighters jumped out. They rushed to the hydrant and opened the spout. So what is this called? It says a fire hydrant. It holds water in it so they can hook their hoses up to it when there's an emergency. I spied a large house with a shed near the back. Smoke rose from its window, all sooty and black. Can you see where the fire is in the picture? It's back here where the shed is. I'll put out that fire as fast as I can. I know I can help. I'm the gingerbread man. I grabbed the hose nozzle and gave it a pull, but that hose whipped and bucked like a rodeo bull. The water whooshed out and it doused the old shed, and the powerful spray shot the hat off my head. The chief ran up quickly and dove on the hose. She crawled her way up till we came nose to nose. Look, everyone, it's a gingerbread man. Now, where did you come from? Said the fire chief Ann. I came with the children to visit the station, but I almost got eaten by Spot the Dalmatian. I had to escape from that hungry crumb snatcher, so I jumped on the truck when I heard your dispatcher. Good thinking, smart cookie. We're glad you hopped in. You wrestled that hose till the fire. Rewind. Good thinking, smart cookie. We're glad you hopped on. You wrestled that hose till the fire was gone. We packed up the truck and drove back to the station. We pulled in the drive to a standing ovation. A standing ovation is when everyone's standing up and giving an applause. Woo! Your gingerbread guy was a brave little man. He doused every flame and it announced Fire Chief Ann. The children applauded and shouted out, "Yay!" They held me up high, yelling, "You saved the day! You're really a hero. You're part of our crew, but you're missing your hat, so we have one for you." A shiny red helmet from Company 4. There are more for your classmates stacked up by the door. So what did they give the gingerbread man since he lost his hat? A fire hat, right? I tried on my helmet and shouted, "Woohoo! I'm a gingerbread man and a fireman too." Very good. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed that story. Excellent job. So let's go back and talk about our story elements. Think about who is our main character in our story? The gingerbread man. Who are some other characters that we met? The children from class, the teacher, the fireman, right? And who is the chief? Do you remember her name? Anne. Very good. Where was the setting? It changed from several different places. At the beginning, the setting was at school, right? And then the kids take a field trip, and where do they go? To the fire station. And when they got to the fire station, they were checking things out, and then the setting changed from the fire station to where the firefighters went to put out the fire, right? Now, what was the problem when they were at the fire station? The gingerbread man was the one who had the problem, right? He was being chased by who? Spot the dog, who's another character. And Spot wanted to do what? Eat the gingerbread man. But he kept running and running and running and tried to get away. And he ended up where he was on the truck going to put out the fire with the firefighters. And at the end of the story, he solved his problem by telling the firefighters what his problem was. He was saying, "Hey, listen, I was trying to run away because your dog, your Dalmatian, was trying to eat me." And they were like, "That was smart of you." And so they celebrated him at the end along with his classmates. Great job today, friends. Tomorrow we'll read another gingerbread man story. We have all kinds of gingerbread man stories for our month of December. So I hope you enjoy them, and maybe you make gingerbread cookies around this time. So it's fun to celebrate and to make connections with. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow for your next Read Aloud.